The film opens with a character known as Commando, who reminisces about his past, particularly the moments spent with his daughter. He divulges the dire situation on Earth. Humanity had engineered robots to simplify their lives, yet the robots turned against them, igniting a catastrophic war. Humans retaliated, but the ensuing conflict left the planet in ruins, rendering it uninhabitable. As diseases swept through the population, Commando's daughter tragically fell prey to one such illness. In a desperate attempt to escape the devastation wrought by the war and environmental collapse, the survivors established a system called Skynet, which created a livable environment. However, their troubles intensified with the arrival of an alien named Pandora. Pandora possessed the remarkable capability to enhance the environment, but there was a significant drawback upon contact with water. Its size began to escalate uncontrollably. If this phenomenon persisted, it would not be long before Pandora engulfed the entire planet. Driven by the need to find a resolution, Commando consults his superior, John, along with General Sean, illuminating the crisis at hand. It is during this meeting that a young woman named Tam reveals her team's development of a virus to inhibit Pandora's growth. If injected into Pandora, it would prevent the creature from expanding further, potentially aiding in the restoration of Earth's environment. However, General Sean expresses reluctance, as a thriving environment would necessitate the termination of the Skynet project, an immense loss. Sean probes Tam for a contingency plan in the event of mission failure. She responds that they would have 3 hours to administer the virus should they fail. Plan B involves embedding a colossal bomb within Pandora, which would obliterate a significant portion of its mass. However, if Pandora's growth remains unchecked, the entire planet faces annihilation. Reluctantly, Sean consents to proceed, recognizing the necessity of choosing between Plan A and Plan B. Tilo and his team embark on their mission, aware that they must first launch a formidable assault on Pandora. This strategy is crucial as when Pandora feels threatened, it opens its body to protect its offspring, thus providing an opportunity to inject the virus. They are aware this is their sole chance to thwart Pandora's unchecked growth before their offensive can commence. In retaliation, Pandora strikes back vigorously, issuing a fierce warning. The resulting battle claims many soldiers' lives, further escalating the tension in an already precarious situation. Simultaneously, a plane transporting the virus faces sabotage. A hacker seizes control of a robot on board, programming it to assault a soldier. Despite the soldier's efforts to defend himself, the robot activates the pin of a grenade, resulting in a catastrophic explosion. The blast brings the plane down, inducing panic among the crew, who fear their mission has been compromised. Nevertheless, Tilo and the remaining team members manage to survive, however. Hope dims when Pandora retaliates by shooting down their plane, severing their communication with the rest of their group. Left fearing the worst, they realize that their only remaining option is to initiate Plan B. In a charged moment, John approaches Tam, reminding her of the mission's timeline. He recalls that they have merely 3 hours before a forthcoming storm could exacerbate Pandora's growth. Despite the uncertainty clouding Tilo's fate, John remains hopeful that his ally is still alive and can fulfill the mission. Yet, should Tilo meet an unfortunate end, John vows to proceed alone. With resolve burning in his eyes, he sets off to discover a way forward, acutely aware that Earth's destiny hangs in the balance. In his urgency to complete the mission, John seeks aid from his old friend, Skunk. Discharged from the army due to his overwhelming fear of death, Skunk is one of the few who can provide assistance. John entreats him to emerge from his seclusion and join the fight. "You can still make a difference," John asserts. "If you stand by me, I will ensure all your needs are met." After initial hesitation, Skunk ultimately consents, and together they set off, intent on locating Tilo and the rest of their team. Meanwhile, Tilo and his companions, Lincoln and Connor, have survived the plane crash. However, Lincoln sustains life-threatening injuries, prompting Tilo to seek medical supplies urgently. Upon reaching the closest hospital, Tilo instructs Connor to remain with Lincoln, assuring him that he will secure the necessary medication while searching for additional resources. Connor springs into action, applying pressure to Lincoln's wounds in a bid to keep him alive until Tilo's return. As Tilo ventures deeper into the hospital on his quest for medicine, he is ambushed by a grotesque, monstrous entity. A fierce confrontation ensues, but Tilo manages to subdue the creature. Upon checking back on his friends, however, he discovers another beast has attacked Lincoln, and despite Connor's best efforts to shield him, Lincoln tragically succumbs to the creature's vicious assault. Devastated and terrified, Connor resorts to hiding, striving to evade the same fate. In the chaos, Tilo encounters a young girl who is trapped within the hospital as well. Just as a creature is about to attack her, Tilo intervenes, saving her at the last moment. Together, they devise an escape plan, but as they rush through the holes, the monsters chase them relentlessly. Just as they reach the exit, they are nearly caught, only for John and Skunk to arrive just in time. John eliminates the pursuing creature, granting Tilo and the girl a brief respite. The group hastily exits the hospital, and John contacts HQ to report that Tilo and the others are alive. The news brings relief to the command center, prompting a decision to cancel Plan B. Tilo and his companions head toward the crash site of the virus, hoping to retrieve it and fulfill their mission. They deploy a drone for reconnaissance, and after some time, it locates the lost virus. Tilo and John rush to the location, but conditions are precarious, and the structure threatens to collapse at any moment. As they draw near, calamity strikes. The virus gets entangled, plummeting into the unstable depths below. Without hesitation, John secures a rope around himself and begins his descent into the perilous area, relying on Tilo to maintain the other end. Unfortunately, the rope proves insufficiently long, compelling John to stretch to his limit. Summoning all his strength, he pulls with all his might. Just as it seems that the rope is about to snap, the pipe it was tied to fractures. In a split-second action, John seizes the virus at the last moment. However, their victory is fleeting as the creatures strike once more, prompting a hasty retreat. Meanwhile, Connor fortuitously discovers a grenade pin, which astonishes him. Even more bewildering, he unearths Eclipse's pin next to an inactive robot. Intrigued by this find, he contemplates removing the chip from his own brain to investigate further. As he reflects on his discovery, a car careens toward him, nearly crushing him. Fortunately, John and Tilo arrive just in time to pull him to safety. However, their relief is short-lived, as the creatures launch a new offensive. Demonstrating unexpected valor, Skunk intervenes to protect the group. He employs explosives to carve a path through the wall, enabling their escape from the monsters as they make their way out. The very structure collapses behind them, leaving only debris and dust in its wake. Connor and the robot analyze the chip they retrieved from the creature, leading to a shocking discovery. The chip had been manipulated by a hacker, which triggered the creature's attack. As they delve further into the breach, they uncover that General Sean is the mastermind behind the mission's sabotage. Reeling from the betrayal, John promptly contacts Sean to confront him. "We have evidence of your attempts to sabotage this mission," John asserts unequivocally. Unabashed, Sean confesses, "Yes, I sought to undermine the mission. I have poured too much time and energy into developing Skynet, and I refuse to see it destroyed. You cannot stop me now." He warns them with a predatory confidence, claiming he has dispatched special robots to eliminate them and has severed their communication with HQ. As a result, the group finds themselves isolated and uncertain about their next course of action. Meanwhile, Tilo and the others press forward, unbeknownst to the looming dangers awaiting them. Suddenly, they are ambushed by the robots dispatched by Sean. The machines unleash a torrent of gunfire upon the group, but their ammunition proves ineffective. Outmatched and overwhelmed, the team scrambles as more robots appear, encircling them and attempting to destroy their vehicle. In a desperate bid for survival, Tilo and the others scramble atop the car, seeking temporary refuge while waging a fierce battle against the robots. Unfortunately, the strength of the machines proves too much, and they struggle to fend off their attackers quickly. Matters escalate when a robot launches a missile directly at their vehicle. Miraculously, they evade the explosion, but the bridge ahead collapses, creating a perilous chasm that separates them from safety. Faced with no alternative, Tilo accelerates the car, hurtling toward the broken bridge. They manage to clear the gap just in time, but their moment of relief is short-lived. A robot grabs hold of the car from the rear, attempting to haul it off the edge into the abyss below. The group fights valiantly, but the robot's power is insurmountable. As the robot continues to force the car toward the brink, John realizes time is of the essence. He hands the virus to Tilo, imploring him to see the mission through. "We don't have much time left," John insists urgently. "If we fail, they will initiate Plan B. You must complete this mission. It is up to you now." With those words, John exits the car and climbs beneath the robot, determined to assist in any way possible. Tilo reaches out, offering a hand to pull him back, but John steadfastly declines. "I cannot allow this to happen," he states firmly. In that moment, John fires at the robot's hand, causing it to lose its grip. The car lurches forward, liberating itself, but the toll is steep. John, unable to maintain his hold, is yanked off the bridge as the robot plunges into the void below. Tilo and the rest of the team watch in horror as John vanishes from view. Continuing their mission, Tilo and his team are running out of time. The storm looms ominously, and they have yet to reconnect with HQ. With less than 30 minutes until the storm strikes, Tam commences preparations for Plan B, amplifying anxiety within the group. The prevailing fear is that, should they fail, Plan B must be enacted. Concurrently, Connor's girlfriend uncovers that the signal disruption was deliberate. Realizing this, she swiftly informs Tam, who inquires about the identity of the saboteur but remains focused on her mission. Meanwhile, Tilo and his cohorts confront the formidable robot Tibor. Time is slipping away, and they have lost their chance to insert the virus into Pandora from their current position. The sole solution is to dig a pit that will provide direct access to Pandora's roots. Tilo assigns Skunk the task of excavating the pit, while he readies himself to confront Tibor. Before leaving, Tilo reassures the young girl who has been with them, asserting that he cannot bear to leave her alone. She insists on staying at his side, but Tilo comforts her, saying, "I couldn't save my daughter, but I promise I won't let anything happen to you." He hides her in a secure location before confronting Tibor. With determination fueling his actions, Tilo charges at the imposing machine, intent on halting its advance. Recognizing that Tibor is equipped with a signal jammer on its head, the reason for their communication struggles, Tilo exerts great effort to disable it, successfully restoring contact with HQ. As communication is re-established, relief washes over the team, prompting them to momentarily suspend Plan B in hope of salvaging their mission. Back at headquarters, Connor's girlfriend uncovers the shocking reality. Sean is the one behind the signal sabotage. This revelation leaves everyone reeling. They learn that he was also responsible for the previous hack that compromised their efforts to disable the robot. The team, grappling with disbelief, finds it difficult to come to terms with the extent of Sean's treachery. Determined to confront Sean directly, Tam decides to take decisive action. She approaches him and gives him one last chance to halt Tibor's advance. "Now," she commands, hoping he will reconsider as more robots, including the formidable Tibor, continue to advance on Tilo and his team. The tension escalates as time slips away. Despite overwhelming odds, the team fights valiantly, yet it becomes evident that they cannot hold the robots at bay for much longer. Meanwhile, Connor successfully completes the excavation of the pit, but disaster strikes. Tilo's suit runs out of power, rendering him vulnerable. A robot seizes the opportunity, inflicting serious injuries on him. Compounding the situation, Tibor blasts the area where the girl had been sheltering, leaving Tilo devastated, grieving, and consumed by anger. He retaliates fiercely, annihilating the robot before him, releasing his pent-up frustration onto the machine. At that moment, Skunk, who had worked tirelessly on the pit, brings the machine to completion. The group harnesses it and aims it at Tibor, resulting in a colossal explosion that incapacitates the formidable robot. Tilo rushes to rescue the young girl, fortunate to have evaded harm thanks to the sound of her voice while trapped beneath the bridge. Seeing her alive fills Tilo with relief, yet the storm is swiftly approaching, causing Pandora to swell rapidly. If he does not act, it could consume the entire planet. Determined to save Earth, John takes the virus and descends into the pit excavated by Connor. There, he reaches the roots of Pandora and encounters something dreadful: the eggs of the creatures that had been attacking them. Comprehending the urgency, John ejects the virus into the roots. With immediate effect, the virus annihilates the creatures within, halting Pandora's expansion. The team and those at headquarters rejoice, knowing disaster has been averted. Confronted by Tam, Sean, recognizing his defeat, shockingly takes his own life, ending his existence. The weight of his actions serves as a bitter reminder of the lengths to which he would go to protect Skynet. 1 week later, Earth shows signs of recovery. Pandora has expanded so significantly that it no longer poses a threat, and its environmental improvements have rendered the planet habitable once again, freeing humanity from dependence on Skynet for survival. In the closing scene, Tilo and his companions embark on a spaceship heading to the moon, having intercepted curious signals indicating a new adventure awaits.